be going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. It is currently 8 a.m. like normal. It is 59 degrees outside. It's kind of a cool 59 as well. It's not muggy and sticky like it was yesterday morning, so it's a little chilly out. So probably need I don't know, you don't need a jacket or anything, but definitely just be advised. It's not it's not that sticky humid stuff we were dealing with yesterday. It's very brisk out today. So, that being said, traffic conditions going in Tulsa, they're very fair. Like, no congestion even 10, 20 minutes ago. I don't know what's going on. I guess a lot of people are just working from home now. But yeah, traffic conditions didn't bother anybody. So if you haven't left and you are commuting into Tulsa today, there's going to be no real issues for you there. So happy travels. As far as upcoming events here in the city of Owasso go, I think they only have that child safety event going on at Old Navy put on by like the fire department in the Owasso PD or something.
That is correct. On the chamber side, it's just popcorn and perks, which that's today, and that's already going on right now.
Popcorn at 8 a.m.
Popcorn and perks. It's just really just a get together and meet for people trying to start a business or thinking about starting a business or looking to help promote their business. And then, the Old Navy, it's at the Old Navy in Owasso, and it is, meet and greet with your local fire and police department.
I see.
And that's really all there is. And, but our Thunder will be playing tonight at 8:30, and it's our second series against the Mavs, so hopefully we can pull out another W.
You shouldn't say our Thunder. You're assuming everyone in the state of Oklahoma likes the Thunder.
If you don't like the Thunder in this state, get out.
Get out. Fair enough, I guess. All right. But as far as that goes, that's all we've got locally. Nationally, we were going to talk about an issue with the Boy Scouts. So if you didn't see the title of the video or you, I don't know, the big subject of today is the Boy Scouts and what's going on there. So the Boy Scouts have been changing for a very long time. The new one is, I guess, they're becoming more gender inclusive in the Boy Scouts. Basically saying if you're trans, you're gay, you're non-binary, whatever, you can be a Boy Scout still. I mean, I was under the impression as long as you had a dangling, you could be a Boy Scout. Your orientation didn't matter. It's a boys' club. It's for boys. Same as the Girl Scouts. It's a girls' club. It is for girls. So now they're going a different direction. I guess they're making sure everyone can be involved, which, again, I don't really understand. As long as you got a dangling, you can be a part of the Boy Scouts. Doesn't matter. Your orientation wasn't the issue. And, again, why would you be worrying about young boys' orientations? They shouldn't even – they should think girls have cooties at that age. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. This is just a political posturing move, I believe, to look good to the Boy Scouts' new investors and donors. This isn't the first controversy the Boy Scouts have been embroiled in either. Like, they made a big fight several years back about trying to let gay men be Cub Scout masters and Cub Scout leaders, which, I think they ended up approving it, but they wonder why the membership for the Boy Scouts has been going down. Even if you're pro-gay, I don't feel like a lot of dads are going to want their sons being influenced by gay men. And that's not rude to say. It's like, look, why do you want to be a Cub Scout leader as a gay man? I'm not saying that you're all predators. Not all gay men are predators, but at the same time, it's like, why do you want to put yourself in that position? So you can give yourself a pseudo-father role because you're never going to have kids? It's wild. But to steelman the Boy Scouts move to do this, one, it's very political because I'm assuming they're getting BlackRock donor and investor money. So big investment groups like BlackRock are going to come in and say, you have to meet these DEI quotas for membership. So if you don't come out and publicly say this, so remember, this is not an organic move that's happening within the Boy Scouts. The Boy Scouts has been dying for years, and then they let gay men become scoutmasters or scout leaders, and I'm sure that also started killing so they were already on the decline, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you let this happen, you see another decline because of that. And then you see a continual decline because kids don't want to do outdoorsy stuff anymore. I mean, I sure didn't. I wasn't. I was a Cub Scout for like a couple of years as a kid. I enjoyed playing video games and playing sports. The Scouts was not for me. I was a big time gamer, and now it's 10 times worse. You know, it's like back then. You know, I didn't even play online until I was in high school age, I guess. You know, online video games were like, I don't know what that is.
We didn't get like Xbox Live or any type of like playing versus other people online until I think high school age. That's true.
Yeah. So now kids are perpetually online. They're perpetually playing video games. So what do they want to go outside for? So that's the real reason for the decline in the Boy Scouts. So that's why a lot of these outside investors, places like BlackRock and other social or progressive interest groups, are going to start donating money, and the people who are appointed to the, you know, like the CEO of the Boy Scouts or whatever that position is going to start towing a political line and be more inclusive because now they have quotas, because the money's going to disappear. They're paying their salary. Like this guy is just justifying his salary effectively. So the decline for the Boy Scouts has been like this for a long time, and it's because of just modern tendencies. I mean, the Boy Scouts was something that was created in World War II. I mean, that's why all the Hitler Youth were all Boy Scouts. You know, it was part of the cultural zeitgeist back then, and now that kind of thing is not a part of the cultural zeitgeist anymore.
Yeah, which was also, the Hitler Youth really was just an excuse for them to train military personnel.
Yes,
under
yeah.
the guise of being
Boy Scouts. Yeah, if you teach a boy how to go out in the woods, survive on his own, and dig a hole, and
that's basically
soldiering. You're soldiering, yeah. So they're ahead of the game when they come of military age. So that's the kind of thing we don't have anymore. You know, video games produce a temporary dopamine release,
mm-hmm.
and they're out there playing games. And again, you can do stuff in games you just can't do in real life. Like, one of my favorite games to play was Friday the 13th. I can't jump out of a window off a second-story building and run away from a terrifying killer chasing me down in real life, because I'll kill myself. But guess what? In a game, I can survive that fall and keep running. There's a lot of fun. There's things video games offer that you just can't do in real life, and it's a lot of fun. So I understand why these organizations are dying. It's a shame that they're dying. They're like basically they're an institution, but there's no real allure to them anymore. They don't have the prestige that they had when I was a kid growing up.
Yeah, and two, when they open their doors up to things like this, whether it be, letting gay Cub Scout masters in, and or
transgenders,
allowing girls or people who identify as non-binary in, it's killing the legacy that it once had. So people who would be interested in putting their boys in it are like, nope, not anymore.
Well, it's not a boys group anymore. What do I want my kids there? But I don't want my kids going in there and being influenced by potentially predatory gay men. I don't want my kids being influenced by transgender ideologies or non-binary kids. I don't want that. It was for the outdoorsy kids is what that was for. And again, when you lose membership, you lose your funding, and then you have outside interest groups start funding you, of course you're going to start towing this political agenda that's being hamstrung and forced into the new zeitgeist of the organization. So I expect we're going to see the downfall of the Boy Scouts very soon, which is a shame, but I mean, they've got to compete in the new globalized marketplace. They've got to make it cool again.
Yep.
They've got to make scouting cool. They've got to make basically, I think a good way to make scouting come back without towing this LGBTQ trans DEI line would be make it a gun club for young boys. But they already have that as well. I mean, they and it's also another insurance cost that they don't want to have to carry.
Yes.
So I understand it, but I think that's about the only way you're going to get. Because whenever I saw, they were like, "Yeah, you can shoot guns if you're Boy Scouts." That was like the one draw for me for the Boy Scouts was shooting guns. But I didn't stick around long enough to get to that point. You had to earn your way to that top. You got to get so many merit badges. You got to be in the organization for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it also just depends on who your cub leader, cub master, scout, whatever it is.
mm-hmm.
They choose to do what they want to do.
Yeah,
And you have to remember they're people with jobs and lives too, so they can't always do all the fun stuff.
absolutely, absolutely. There's a lot. There's a lot to it, and I don't claim to have all the answers, but I can tell you that what this right here, other than the CEOs and the guys running the Boy Scouts justifying their paychecks, this ain't the right answer. It's the answer to your money problems, but it's not the right answer as far as the legacy of your organization. So, yeah. Moving on to our next subject
So
now.
did you want to watch the video that came with it?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I totally forgot. We went right into it, and I forgot we even had a video for it.
Yeah, hang on. Let me pull up the volume on the desktop
But
real quick.
yeah, watch this fella basically explain exactly what we were just talking about.
Strong message to everyone in America that they can come to this program, they can bring their authentic self, they can be who they are, right, and they will be welcomed here. The argument that I make with the people that say, well, I always like Boy Scouts of America or BSA, why do we have to change? Go, membership is at historic lows, right? Part of my job is to reduce all the barriers I possibly can for people to accept us as an organization and to join. Sends this really strong message to every.
He's just gonna tear down all the barriers that prevent certain people and certain groups from joining. I mean, being a boy
Yeah, yeah. What do you mean, being a boy?
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I mean, if you got a dingling, you should be you are able to join the Cub Scouts. So I don't know, man. It's ridiculous, and this is the guy out there towing the line for this ridiculous ideology that they're pushing out now. So I mean, congratulations, you're the toe the line, man. Keep justifying your paycheck, man. Ridiculous. But yeah, we'll push on to our next little subject matter, which we were talking about actually the Canadian healthcare. So I was gonna show a video today of a girl who is from Canada, who came down to the United States and was basically singing the praise of the American healthcare system, which is surprising because whenever we talk to Canadians, or whenever I've talked to Canadians or see Canadians talk, they just bash the American. They go, ours is great, ours is free. It's like, no, it's not free. It's not free. You're paying for it in your taxes, but it ain't free. But she was just like, wow, this is amazing. There's not like a long wait to get into this hospital that I was in. There was no chaos. There's not a million angry people sitting in here waiting for a doctor to see them. She was just amazed that it wasn't absolute chaos, which I don't know where she's from in Canada, but she was just singing the praise of the American healthcare system, which is odd. Again, very odd. But I'm guessing the video was struck down by Instagram for reasons I don't know. I guess they could say that she's lying, so someone could have been like, well, she's lying, she's a known grifter or something, but I don't know. She seemed pretty authentic and genuine to me because she was just live recording herself from a hospital. There weren't any real cuts in the video. So I don't know. So it led me down a rabbit hole. And do you have your YouTube page pulled up, Chad?
Yeah, I have the Facebook. My Facebook thing pulled up right here where it's showing right here. Attachment unavailable. I'll even click on the link right here. We can try to see. Yep. Sorry, this is not available right now. This page is not available right now.
So which led me down a rabbit hole. I went to YouTube and I was like, well, I'm gonna find this girl. I'm gonna find her video. It's got to be relatively pop. If it popped up in my feed in Instagram, I'm probably going to be able to find it on YouTube. So I start looking through YouTube and I type in Canadian girl sings praise or praises American hospitals or American healthcare. And nothing popped up for her. In fact, the results that popped up were mainly negative or comparison videos of American healthcare versus Canadian healthcare, and not a lot of positives. I mean, it took me a while to scroll before we found a Steven Crowder video bashing
Yep.
Canadian healthcare.
I just pulled it up here on YouTube,
Yeah.
on our YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it shows negative, U.S. care versus Canadian, and it's a negative one. I can tell you that. Then it's Bernie Sanders praises the U.S. Said then it's Canadian healthcare system versus U.S. Then it's finally we get a Steven Crowder one where he's saying it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, and then you find you scroll down a little bit more, and I think there's one of Ben Shapiro going, "Healthcare is not a right."
Back to Bernie Sanders again.
Mm-hmm.
Bernie Sanders praises the healthcare system, Canadian healthcare system. Canadian doctor becomes internet sensation over universal healthcare.
Yeah, this is
Bernie Sanders again.
so
Americans, I can't go back to America after Canadian healthcare. Ridiculous stuff.
so. This is the point I was trying to get at. If you remember several videos ago, we were talking about how Google, like 70% of their search algorithms, and remember, Google owns YouTube too. So 70% of their search results are going to have a left-wing bias. They're going to have a pro-left-wing search. Like it's going to pull up majority left-wing ideology. So this is how Google is influencing elections in a big way. If I type in Canadian girl praises U.S. healthcare, and even if I say praises, like they're doing a good job, it pulls up negative videos about the U.S. healthcare. How am I supposed to get a balanced worldview? This is how you know that the people at Google and the people in the YouTube Google subsidiary of YouTube are all basically pseudo-communists. Like they're trying to destroy America. They're trying to jade public opinion. And again, you as an adult, like you're not going to be as swayed as a kid is. But if you're a kid, if I'm a 16-year-old kid talking about doing a report on healthcare, and I'm like typing, I'm going to type in YouTube and follow and search a video essay about this. Boom. The vast majority of your results are how American healthcare is bad. Even if, again, I type in Canadian girl praises U.S. healthcare system. Negative, 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 negative. Oh, finally I found one positive. How are we supposed to get a balanced worldview off of that? Google is subtly, and not even subtly anymore, they're just manipulating the search algorithms to benefit a worldview that isn't even true. That's what I mean. That girl was shocked when she was doing it. She goes, I was under the impression the American healthcare system was bad. And here she is going, this is amazing. I don't have to wait to see a doctor.
Now you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Everything you have to pay for, which, you can argue whether or not it's too expensive or not. But hey, at least you get in and you can see a doctor immediately.
Yeah.
Not, oh, well, we'll put you on a wait list and we'll get you in when we can see you.
Yeah, good luck. So that's a problem. And apparently, it led us down. So we started searching, and apparently, nurses are leaving Canada in droves to come here and work in the United States because they make more money here in the U.S. They're not taxed as viciously as they are in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So, American nurses, you're going to be competing against Canadians with similar qualifications. So, be prepared for competition in the job market here, Americans, if they can get their green cards and citizenship here. The nursing market's about to get real competitive from Canadians coming here to fight for nursing jobs here in America. So be ready. Which, again, this whole manipulated search algorithms and me saying that a lot of these people that work at Google and YouTube are communists leads me into my next point. We are going to pull up another video of some girls talking about how communism works. Can you go into your the messages and pull up that video of the girls talking about how communism?
I will, but I don't think you sent me that one.
No, I did. It's in the
Facebook Messenger?
Yep.
Okay.
So it's 1 video, 2 video, 3 video, 4 video, 5 video, 6 video up. It's got a thumbs up on it.
Up. Okay.
It's of a Latina looking girl.
6 video up with a thumbnail on it.
There she is.
That's it? Okay.
That's her.
Clicking on it now.
So this is some girls talking about. Oh, I'll go ahead and stop. It's already playing.
No, it's not. It's not. I don't have the volume up yet, so you can keep talking.
Basically, these girls are giving a breakdown of the communist revolution and how they influence culture and how they influence children and how you don't own anything, including your kids, which is a terrifying thought that this is the way these Marxist communists think. They think that even you're not allowed to own anything in this world, right? Now, we don't take anything we own in this world with us in the afterlife. I can agree with that. That's the only place I can agree. But we do own things in this world. Like, no one can say I don't own my truck. No one can tell you don't own your house. But the creepiest part of all is they go, you don't even own your children. Now, like, owning your children, like, I don't own them like they're a dog. But like I said, your kids are your own. But they go, no, 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 comrade. They're our children. Those kids aren't yours. They're our kids. They're the world's children. Like, creepy stuff, man. Creepy stuff. That's why this whole ideology is so vicious. It's so abhorrent. That'll be the end of that, so get ready to play it.
You got it. So after I lose Joe Biden,
Zero private property literally comes down to our children.
What is the first thing that communists do?
We get asked that a lot, and contrary to popular belief, it's not seizing the guns, but indoctrinating the children.
We found a fascinating article called Communism in the Family, written in 1920 by Alexandra Kollontai, one of the leading voices in communist ideology. She was a Bolshevik. She actually left her husband and her children to devote herself to indoctrinating women and children. She was appointed by Vladimir Lenin as the Commissioner of Social Welfare. They legalized things like abortion, divorce, birth control, granted women's voting rights, also decriminalized prostitution. She wrote this idea of bringing women into the working class and taking them out of the home, making them believe that they have no right to educate their own children. She wrote, "The old family, narrow and petty, where the parents quarrel and are only interested in their own offspring, is not capable of educating the new person. It is the task of the new school to train up the younger generation whose whole ideology shall be deeply rooted in the new communist society."
Their ideology must be put into every single subject.
Because it won't get into the minds of the younger generations if it's not all-encompassing. Parents would homeschool their kids, and they believed that those rights literally don't exist.
That totally coincides with the more recent things that we've been hearing from leftist politicians.
I'd like to say, first of all, there's no such thing as parental rights.
But it's true. They're all our children. They're not somebody else's children. They're like yours when they're in the classroom.
The belief in zero private property literally comes down to our children.
See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's why I wanted to talk about the Canadian healthcare and then lead on into this, because as you saw, they're right, because we have to integrate this ideology into every aspect of life, including YouTube search algorithms, including LGBTQ crap in the classroom, including legalizing prostitution. I mean, what is OnlyFans if not grooming girls to become prostitutes? They might be online prostitutes, but they're still prostitutes.
yeah.
So this is a huge problem. And again, the creepiest part of that whole thing is there is no such thing as parental rights.
That was a United States politician.
Yeah.
That said that.
Are you effing kidding me? No such thing as parental rights. You don't have a right to teach your kids the Bible. You don't have a right to teach your kids a value system. The value system is the one that we tell you can have. Get wrecked, man. Like, that's crazy. But I mean, Joe Biden was echoing what that senator was saying, or what that politician was saying. They believe this. They believe that we are their citizens. We are their subjects. Okay, I thought we broke away from the crown. I'm no one's subject. I'm a citizen of this country. I'm not a subject. My kids will certainly not be your subject. I'm a free American.
Well, that's kind of the point of what they talk about. It's like, with all these like Russian propagandists talking about you have to indoctrinate a generation. If you make a generation forget about rights and stuff that they have, and you just don't teach them that, they don't know. So therefore,
Yeah.
They're not going to complain about it when you take it away.
And again, we're pushing this onto that. We'll call it back to the healthcare thing. Imagine a generation of kids grows up only finding negative search results for the U.S. healthcare system. You wonder why we have so many little Marxists and communists running around here going, healthcare system sucks here in America. Well, it's because they can't find anything positive anyone said about it unless you go on page 2 of the search engine. Not many people make it past the first page because we just trust Google to give us the best source. No, you're trusting communists and Marxists at Google to manipulate those search feeds.
And this is also the company that changed their motto from "Don't do evil," which is Google, was "Don't do evil," and now it's "Do good." So
They couldn't even hold up to "Don't be evil."
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh well, evil's subjective.
Well, no. Good is subjective. Evil is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I suppose. But again, everything's connected, folks. Everything. So if it can be as simple as being taught in the classroom, and it can go as far as search engine algorithms. You're being manipulated. You have to do more research. You can't just trust what you're being fed. You got to dig deeper. And again, most of us don't want to work that hard. I sure didn't when I was a kid. I mean, I read one news article and I'd be like, yep, that's got to be the truth. I mean, if it's in the news, somebody wrote it, it has to be true.
Yeah. The man on the television box said it was true, so therefore it must be true. There is a slight aspect of that where people just believe what they read or they hear on the news.
Yeah, and a lot of times kids, we just trust authority figures too. I remember the first time I got like a culture shock was one of my favorite teachers, even as a senior in high school, was I won't go in too deep, but it was a class that was kind of a blow-off class, and everybody really liked teacher. Every kid in the class liked the teacher. Turns out this teacher was a predator. He had attempted to he sexually assaulted a student on a field trip. And the kid that he assaulted was like, he was one of those like quiet, shy kids that, not very outspoken, very nervous kid. And he was almost too afraid to come forward. But I liked the teacher so much. I shook the man's hand all the time. I was like, how are you? It's good to see you today, sir. And then shattered my worldview of trust, of authority. I was like, oh my gosh. The people in charge of us could manipulate. And that's as a student.
It's like another thing when you first discover like a teacher taught you something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, maybe this person isn't all they're cracked up to be on this subject. Maybe
they're actually an idiot. And like I said, and maybe the teachers who are the nicest to you are the ones who are trying to manipulate you. You got to be careful. Like, I mean, that's how he goes. That's how, I mean, my worldview was blown after that. Like, it was hard for me to trust anybody because I was just like, I really like this guy a whole lot. And he had done something like that. Shatters your worldview. Just think of the kids that don't. Think of the kid that got abused. It's like, I'm sure he liked that teacher a lot too. Right up until the event occurred. So you got to be careful. Yeah, they're not your kids, they're our kids. Yeah, that right there goes to show you. Yeah, your kids, most people don't care about you. Most people don't care about your kids the way you care about them. They're looking to use them, manipulate them. That's why family's the only one that can genuinely love you, because they're the only ones that love you for the sake of you and don't want anything from you. So we'll push on and we'll kind of end on a high note after all that. We'll go to this real quick video of AOC and this guy. This made my day. I laughed really hard at it, so hope everyone enjoys this short little clip. It's very funny.
Uh-oh, I don't have the volume. We'll have to let it restart.
Okay, I'm getting off the internet. I'm done for the night.
Does not mean stop. No means find another way.
Okay,
No does
I'm
not
get off the
mean
internet.
stop.
I'm done with
It
it.
means find another way.
Yeah, tell that to Bill Cosby, folks.
AOC, you with your one-liners, proving how you truly are the best congressperson ever.
God, that was awesome. That's about all we've got for you today, folks. I wanted to kind of end with a funnier video since we were talking about some serious subject matter today. So that's about all we've got. This is the Twins with the Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. We are signing off. God bless y'all.
See you later, everybody.